What up, y'all? I'm back with another review, and I'm here to review the debut studio album from Double XL Freshman, SoundCloud rapper, one of the biggest names in hip hop today, Xxxtentacion. Now, I'm not just here to review his debut studio album 17, but I'm also here to say, look, given what I know about X, people that listen to his music, and just listening to the music that I have heard from him that I do like. Not everything I like, but I have more songs that I like than I dislike. Um, I have to say, look, if you like X as a person, if you like this album, I have no reason to think that you wouldn't like music like. Well, shoot, I have it right here actually. I have no reason to think you wouldn't like something like Run the Jewels, Death Grips, Clipping, Horror, HO9909, Brockhampton, guys like that. Not to say that this album sounds like music that they make, artists like that or albums that they make. But if you like this album, if you like X, what you hear from him, I have no reason to think you wouldn't like music like that. Asher Roth, his Ghosts debut album or second album that I discussed on the channel. Um, I have no reason to think that you wouldn't like metal. I mean, this album here, it's made me think about some things like what's going on in music right now, what's going on in hip hop, the phase that we're in. I'm gonna talk about that in a separate video and probably write an article about that too, because hip hop is going through a phase right now that I like. I mean, not necessarily like all the music that comes out of it, but man, and really, what I have to say about this album before I get into the review, I have to say it's not as sad as people say. I've seen a few reviews, I've seen people on Twitter. People are saying this album is so sad. It's not really that sad, for being honest. I mean, yes, it can make you feel down, but it's not that sad to me. And this album is lo-fi indie. It is emo punk rap. It's alternative R&B, sort of, kind of. It has a lot of acoustic. I mean, this album is a lot of genres, subgenres of music into one album. It's it's basically a punk rap album, if we're being honest. I mean, there are 11 tracks, 22 minutes. Each song is like a minute, and some it's just like, yo. I've even heard some people say this is like each song is like an iTunes preview, and I'm just like, this is like a punk. This is like a punk album, really. So a few tracks, not too many, but not necessarily 13 or 14, not too many like there's 20, 22. It's just like 9, 10, or 11. There are 11 tracks here. 22 minutes and like a minute or so each song. It's like this is a punk album. X obviously listens to metal and rock, um, yeah, metal, rock and roll, um, emo, acoustic, punk. He obviously listens to all of that, and he infuses it in his music, not just here, but on other tracks that I've heard from him before, and he does an okay job, and that's how I feel about this album. I think it's okay, honestly. Let's go ahead and get into this though. The first track is Explanation. This is where he's telling you about 17 being his personal number and everything. Uh, and he's just saying like, yeah, these are my thoughts, and this is how I feel about life. I don't value your money. I just value your acceptance. I love you, and yeah, this is to help numb or take away your depression. If you listen to this, he made it clear that this is for people who are going through it. He faked his suicide for promo for the album. It's like, boy, let's just go ahead and get right into this. With the second track, though, Jocelyn Flores, this is dedicated to his friend, I believe, who committed suicide. I have to say, I really like this track, probably my favorite track on here. Now, the third track is Depression and Obsession. And he's saying here that depression and obsession don't mix well. And that's kind of like this album. Doesn't seem mixed too well, but I think that's on purpose to give it that sound, give it that vibe, which I personally like the vibe. I like the sound. Track number 4, Revenge. Least memorable track on here, honestly. Honestly, it is. It's which it's kind of the worst track on here, but it's not like I don't like it. I mean, this is where you get it's kind of the same value you get from Depression and Obsession, the whole acoustic guitar and everything, but it's the least memorable track on here, if I'm being honest. Memorable track on here. Track number 5. Everybody dies in their nightmares. This is X talking about how he's tired of feeling numb, um, dead, and it's just like I love this track too. Like it's not even the lyrics; it's just the vibe. I basically love this album not because of the lyrics, but the vibe. Like just the vibe on the beats, but also the vibe that you get when X is like what he's saying, not necessarily what he's saying, but how he's saying it. It fits the vibe of the beat. So I'm like, I like it. I'm gonna be honest. I like this album. It's not like a 10. It's not a 9 or an 8. It's more like a. It's like a if I'm being honest, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this review. It's like a 6 to me. If I'm being honest, but it's not as sad as people think it is. People making it out to be. It's really not. Track number 6, "Save Me." Um, this this could be perfect for anime cuts. What can I say? Honestly, like it's not like there are people who make anime cuts anyway. That's why I even brought it up because people make anime cuts with X's music anyway. Track number 7, "Dead Inside." I love the piano. I just freaking love it. And what's it about? Well, let's just look at the title, "Dead Inside." It's like everybody dies in their nightmares almost, just with the guitar. I mean the piano here. Track number 8, "Fuck Love" featuring Trippie Redd. I was disappointed in this, not because I didn't like the song. I actually like the song, but it's contradicting. This "fuck love," but kind of saying, I need you, I need your love. It's like okay, but that's not even the part that disappoints me. And I fuck with the beat too, by the way. It's just that why did he need a feature? I was thinking, yo, he's gonna go gold or platinum with no features. So all these J. Cole niggas can shut the fuck up about him going platinum with no features already. That's not the hate on J. Cole. I like J. Cole. I really do. But I'm tired of these stands of this nigga talking about some he went platinum with no features. I was thinking, damn it, if X can just go gold or platinum with no features, they can shut the fuck up. But unfortunately, no. Next, track number 9, "Carry On." This is this track is I'm not even sure why I'm laughing, but you know, like songs that had like on this album that have the vocal cuts from whatever song or album this is off of, these vocals are from. For some reason I feel a Drake Dreams More Dreams More the money can buy Dreams Money Can Buy vibe. Not necessarily on that beat, but just the whole that whole thing right there. I'm like, this is something else. This is just my goodness, man. I know in the beginning of the review I talked about recommendations I had about certain artists and albums, but I'm gonna have and songs. I'm gonna have some more for you too at the end because this album made me think like about the phase hip hop's going through and everything. Track number 10, "Orlando." I love this track. Well, I really like this track. I can't say I love it. And the last track on here, Ayala. I like the outro. And to be honest, there's not a song on here that I dislike because I like the acoustic vibe. I like the I don't want to say alternative R&B like it's SZA's album, Control. I don't want to say it like that, but I just like the lo-fi indie vibe, the emo punk, but punk only in the sense that it's 11 tracks in 22 minutes. Like each track is like a preview on iTunes or something, or whatever streaming platform. And that each it's just like a minute or so long. So it's punk in that sense, as far as the length of the tracks and the album as a whole. Now, I also have to say, if you like something like this, I assume you probably like Kid Cudi. You probably like Kanye, and just given that, um, I'd say you probably like Lil Peep's "Come Over When You're Sober." Like hip hop is going through a phase right now, and I'm just gonna assume that X and Lil Peep they listen to metal and rock and all that. I mean, of course X does. I mean, with tracks like R.I.P. Roach, um, He obviously watches anime, but R.I.P. Roach, King of the Dead, Riot, Slipknot. I spoke to the Devil in Miami. Like X obviously is a very diverse person as far as how he expresses himself when he listens to music or what he watches. As far as anime, rock, metal, emo, punk. So it's like, yeah, and that's what I like about X. You probably people aren't gonna like this. Probably, well, a lot of people aren't gonna like this, but a lot of people are gonna love this. I love it personally because it's so many genres of music that I do love into one album. Even if the even if the final product isn't necessarily that damn good, but I just like the sound anyway. All these sounds and these vibes, it's like okay, I like it. I'm giving it like a 6, to be honest with you. And I have to recommend this. If you like X in his tracks like R.I.P. Roach, if you like tracks like King of the Dead, I'm not gonna say if you like Slipknot or Riot or I suppose the Devil in Miami, but if you like King of the Dead, if you like R.I.P. Roach, if you like those other songs where he's yelling and people think when they hear something like that, that's all they've ever heard, so they think all he does is yell. They'd be surprised if they just heard this album. Uh, if you like tracks like that, then I'd recommend that if you don't, you need to get into some rock, get into some hard rock, get into some metal, get into some rock and roll, get into some emo. You know what? Get into Street Military. I love Houston hip hop, and their whatever album that was, I forget which number, but it was titled Still Gangsters. If you like rock, or if you like King of the Dead, and R.P. Roach from X, or at least he's featured on R.P. Roach. If you like tracks like that, you need to get into Street Military. Their whole discography, but especially Steel Gangsters. Like I said, like the Another Hit EP, their debut album. But yeah, just their whole discography, but especially Steel Gangsters if you like tracks like that from X. And if you like tracks like that from X, like I said, get into some metal, get into some rock, get into the whole damn thing. Emo, hardcore, post-hardcore, metalcore, math rock. Get into all that shit. And that's pretty much it. So if you've heard this album, go ahead and let me know what you think about it in the comment section below and what you think about my review on it. And if you haven't heard this album, if you like music that I like just recommended and what I talked about in the beginning, and artists and albums like I recommended in the beginning of the video, I definitely recommend that you check this album out if you haven't. It's short, easy to listen to, like 22, 23 minutes. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, let me know what you think about the album in the comment section below, what you think about my review on it, and that's not it. Be sure to hit the like button if you like this review, share the review, subscribe if you're new, check the description for my everything, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, AudioMac, PayPal, uh, a made up social media that will be here in like a year or two. All that it's here in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all next time.